Amnesty International has condemned the introduction of the Counter Subversion Bill 2024 in the House of Representatives, calling for its immediate withdrawal. The country director of Amnesty International, Sanusi, disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday. The bill, sponsored by the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, has been criticized for its vague and broad language, which could be used to silence political opponents and punish those who express dissenting views. The bill prescribes, among others, that anyone found guilty of destroying national symbols, refusing to recite the national anthem and pledge, defacing a place of worship with intent to incite violence, or undermining the federal government shall face a fine of 5 million naira and a 10-year prison sentence, or both. The misplaced and ill-timed Counter Subversion Bill 2024 violates international human rights standards, Sanusi said. He continued to say it will be open to vague and broad interpretations and can be used to impose incredibly harsh punishments simply for criticizing the Nigerian authorities. Sanusi noted that similar laws in other countries have been used to target political opponents and punish peaceful expression of views differing from those of the government. The law had always and everywhere turned out to be a tool of repression, he said. The bill's unclear wording, broad application, and lack of explicit human rights safeguards makes it prone to interpretation and abuse by officials. He emphasized that the bill promotes a culture of repression rather than addressing pressing issues like corruption, poverty, and insecurity. Corruption, which is increasingly rampant and keeps Nigerians poorer, is the subversion that the House of Representatives should worry about and pay closer and more concrete attention to, giving the government more broad powers to punish the people who hold dissenting opinions will only further undermine human rights, he said. Amnesty International urged the House of Representatives to focus on addressing deep poverty, inflation, and insecurity, rather than introducing legislation that could further restrict human rights. Legislations must be compliant with domestic and international human rights standards, Sanusi concluded. Asims, yes. What is your take on this subversion bill?
Thank you, but I wanted to chip in something before you enter the next topic.
I just very quickly.
Because it has become very rampant, and at the same time also it has become a notorious fact, on television and radio, that a lot of people say, I'm not a politician. I look at them, I just laugh. I say, well, as far back as when I was in the school in the 80s, I was in this, activities, an activist of a brand of the Che Guevara School. Then I migrated and transmogrified, went to law school, and during the time of the MK Abiola, June 12, whatever, I was in SZP. I also was a world leader in Amowo Odofi Ward 13, which people normally call FESTAC, under, the particular SZP. Then when Tinubu came into board, I was also a world leader in the same place, the Alliance for Democracy. And I was also vice chairman of non-indigents of Lagos people. So these are areas I have played roles. And in the military administration, I was also a very strong member of the non-indigents, people in Rivers State here. I participated. So I've been there. And quite recently, but it's very fresh in the memories, that I was the spokesperson for the Labour Party campaign train of Beatrice Itubo. You understand? And a very strong obedient. I keep quiet not because I don't know the nitty-gritties of politics, but the dark labyrinths is what I don't want to go into, because I don't play some brand of politics. The politics of economic stomach infrastructure, I don't want to play those kind of politics. I play politics of the center-left. That is why you find that I am not too popular with consciousness of people who come around to talk on television and radio. So if I were to be there, I think I would have been so prominent. Nobody can defeat me in that particular game. But that is not part of me. Now, coming to this particular question that we are talking about right now, subversion itself is a very strange and a very dangerous 10. I'm very happy that they even had to use that word subversion. Because if they didn't use the word subversion, I'm sure that the civil society organizations, including us on the human rights, angle, will not know, except very few of us. If they have painted it in a different way, we will not know. Just allow the bill to pass through. Before you know, they bring it and come and gag you, like the Terrorism Act, cyber stalking, whatever act. Those things were slipped into the legal disdain of Nigeria Law Federation by the Senate and National Assembly. Now, this one is this. At times I sit down again to wonder. I worked for a speaker as an advisor in my state during the time of the Shomole administration. I know how we used to do. What do we do? If you want to propose a bill, you send it to your technical team. Okay, this is what I want to. We will go through that particular bill and the ingredients that make up that particular bill through our Hansard and the rest. Then we compare it to the ground norm, that is the 4th, 8th origo, that is the origin and source of me even sitting there and you sitting there as a legislator. We compare it. This particular bill was brought in by, I believe, they are military men in disguise in the National Assembly, or those who are not scholars, because some of them hold doctorate degrees, but they are not intelligent. That is why you didn't know that from ab initio the bill is a bad bill. What am I trying to say? Because many Nigerians don't even know why civil societies rejected it. Now let me tell you, waving a flag, if you don't do that, here's imprisonment. If you don't want to recite national anthem, here's imprisonment. Fine of 10 million etc. If you gather in a place without permission, the police will come in there, they arrest and take. You spend some years imprisonment. So even the bill listed associations. So which means even the NBA, even some of the medical associations, if they gather in a place, in a public place, it means that the police can come in and interfere and say, why are you gathered here? It is as the case may be. Now the question I ask is this. Did these people think that we were living in the military era? That is number one. Number two is that did these crafters of this, besides some of them I don't know, if they may be PhD holders in whatever, but they are not intellectuals. The question I've asked is this. Did they not get a lawyer to look into, or lawyers to look into this thing, that this bill was going to conflict with Section 39, Section 40?
Absolutely. You
understand? Of the 1999 Constitution. And Section 40 alone self has destroyed this bill. So if people sneak it in and pass it into law, I can go to court and challenge it, and it will be destroyed because it is inconsistent with Section 40, Section 39, Section 37 I have stated. Freedom of movement, freedom of association, freedom of expression. So except to amend that particular part of the Constitution, that is why this bill can flow. But insofar as this bill is there, assuming it's allowed to go through the readings and the president assent to it, either on purpose or by conduct, we will bring the bill down because it is inconsistent. And Section 2.1 says that, or 1.1 says that, of the Constitution says, if there's any law in Nigeria that's in conflict with the ground of the Constitution, that law becomes void to the extent of its inconsistency.
Absolutely.
So why did they bring it? So that the question I'm asking is that is it not you just want to sit down and say, let it be that I pass a bill, or whatever the case may be? So we found out that it was incongruent with our own Constitution. So when we raise the red flags, happily enough, some lawyers have to go and advise. I say, Mr. Speaker or whoever, please, we are begging you, withdraw this thing and don't create problem in the National Assembly. You understand? That was how quickly and horribly, like a retreating ragtag army, had to go and take this thing back and say, this is not what I meant. Do you know, you see, I feel so sad for him to just to go back to recompense, you know, and stay before even going to purgatory. I was thinking that he would have just left the matter. He came and said that a replica of this bill exists in the UK, Afghanistan, and whatever as the case may be. The question I asked, oh, it operates there. You don't have the kind of policemen we have here in that place. Now, you have seen this, you have brought it here. Why have you not brought monorail, you know, to your own constituency or to your own state? It's only when you go abroad, you go and bring bad things that will affect Nigerian people. But the good things there, rail, train, all this thing working effectively well, you will not come and pass motion or pass bill for the federal government to make sure that the rail system goes around the whole country. You don't see those things when you travel? Don't you see them? These are questions that I ask them. It's only the bad one you're looking at. So it was good that it was shut down. Finally, or did you know that, Loresha, do you know what would have happened? The people now, as we are even speaking, because they say you can't even criticize. They say you cannot even criticize leadership. I raised 10 points from that thing, from this subversion bill, that you cannot even criticize leadership. That means that we cannot even talk on radio, on television to, maybe they call it abuse leadership. I said, what do you mean by abuse leadership? Is it insult leadership? You cannot do any of those things. You pay 5 million naira or 10 million, you go to jail for 10 years because you are speaking your mind. And I told them, I said, that in itself also ran in grade to section 22 of the 1999 Constitution that says that the duty of the media is for them to interview us and let them, we expose you people. That is what section 22 is saying.
Absolutely. That
the media has the right to put government on his toes. The governor, the local government, the president. I will keep talking to you because on television, radio. Because section 22 says the media has the right to invite us come and talk to people. So this being run, you know, incongruent to that particular section 22 also. So what are you talking about? The legislature of Nigeria, Mr. Speaker, what are they talking about? So these are things I find very funny in a country called Nigeria. And if you want to gag, that is why you see Amnesty International came. The National Human Rights Commission has not even come to even say a foreign this is coming, amnesty for whatever they are. National Human Rights Commission, you have not come out to challenge this particular bill the way Amnesty has been doing. What exactly were you set up to do? That you know that will be gagged. The other gaggers who can't talk. I want to rest this my thought here with, you know, the saying of Gunter Grass. He's a German poet, writer, and a socialist, a left-centered, a socialist. He said, the duty of the citizen is to constantly open his mouth wide.
Absolutely.
What does that mean? It's not saying you should open your mouth so that flies with and no. It says keep talking, keep talking, keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. That even if when you keep, in his book, he says you keep talking, you keep talking. Even if you have your casket in front of you, keep talking till you enter that distance. To tell government that what they are doing, or those in authority, what they are doing is wrong. Against the people that you rule, you want to gag us? It's only Hitler. And he even Putin now has relaxed some of those particular things. This is a democracy. It's not a militocracy. It's not a monarchy. It's not theocracy. You understand? And Nigeria, they say this kakistocracy. Maybe that's what we are practicing. Yeah. So, except you, but we are going to resist people to do that. On civil grounds. On civil grounds. You have our rights, but don't gag us, please. Thank God the bill has been withdrawn.
All right. Honorable Lan, what is your take on this?
First of all, I want to appreciate my legal counsel for the blows he has given. But first of all, Choma, let us define the responsibility of the parliament in a democratic governance. The parliamentarians have 5 functions. One is to make laws that approve people. 2 is oversight function, to educate people. 3, to engage in representing the people. So now, believe me, I am so disappointed, and it's also distasteful for somebody who occupied the office of the Speaker, which is the number 6 in Nigeria, to sponsor a bill that is anti-democracy in Nigeria. Because come to think of it, Nigeria is a democratic state. And this particular bill is not just only a witch hunt against democracy, but is a reprisal. It's a reprisal against the 1999 Constitution as amended. It's a reprisal against all the constitutions of human rights internationally and the world. It's a repression against Nigeria, and as well as even the freedom of information, which is also an act in Nigeria, if you are aware. And coming from who? The Speaker of the National Assembly. This is the same reason why, Lawrence, I continue to say that our 10th Assembly, both the Federal House and the Senate, it has really shown that they are not even in the same climate to understand what Nigerians, who they are representing, who they are constitutionally occupying their seats, are going through. Because by what the Constitution said, functions of the Federal House of Representatives, and including bills within the exclusive list that they are supposed to discuss, which is one of them is corruption, which is one of them is auditing, checks and balances. Every single day, inflation is on an alarming level in Nigeria. We saw what happened, the ratio by which inflation of commodities today between 2007, which is about how many years back, to 2024 is so high. And the National Assembly is not even sponsoring a bill that can be able to give room or powers to some of the Chamber of Commerces to now start controlling the cost of commodities and items within their localities. Because how do we even have these agencies of government, and yet they don't even have responsibilities and functions? Look at the cost of electricity today. The minister comes out and gives us, before we normally buy, what they call it, the electric unit, 1,000 naira, you get almost, if I'm not mistaken, about 20-something units or thereabouts. But today, even with 2,000 naira, you're only getting 10 units. And even the citizens' rights are being destroyed and diminished. And yet, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, who happened to be the one to sponsor this particular bill, believe me, it is regrettable that somebody who occupies such an exalted office, will come and present such a bill that, as if you are turning Nigerians, or you're making us to see ourselves that we are in a dictatorial governance. Even the Russia today that we are seeing today, that is running a socialist system of government, whereby everything in Russia belongs to the government, including power to live life to an extent. But there are what we call international laws that you must not take away, which is also in our own constitution. And remember that the 1999 constitution as amended is as rigid that every Nigerian, including those who are occupying public offices and the constituents, the citizens, ought to abide by it. It is a constitution that said by its preamble that a nation under one God, that we are dissoluble. We are ought to conform to that particular constitution. And yet somebody, who is also occupying an exalted seat, is trying to bring a bill, to sponsor a bill that is anti the same constitution that he took an oath to defend. Believe me, if it is in a different state, I think this is even a reason why even the Speaker of the House of Assembly should either resign or be impeached. Because the bill itself does not say anything good for the citizen. You're talking about the citizen to go to jail for 10 years. You're talking about the citizens to pay a fine of 5 million or thereabout, and come to think of it. So which means when the citizens see the government of the day not doing what they took an oath to do, they should no longer speak up. This is the reason why Benjamin Disraeli said in the year 1748 that no government can be long secured in a democratic society without a formidable opposition. And especially when the opposition today that we have in Nigeria has now become bedeviled with internal crisis, that we no longer have opposition. As a matter of fact, in Nigeria today, with what the APC-led federal government is doing, we can confidently say that Nigeria, there is no political opposition. So now it is only the people that are the opposition. And now you are coming to introduce a bill that will subvert justice for the people. You are introducing a bill that is anti-section 39, 35, and 36, which is the right of the citizens of this state. So I think that I am glad that even without much reactions of people, that the particular bill has been withdrawn. But I must state clearly that I think it is high time our National Assembly members, especially our parliamentarians, start taking into account the responsibilities and the oath. Take for instance, we are seeing what is happening. How much of oversight that they are entitled to in terms of their constitutional payment that they are supposed to, engage in. But yet, instead of our speaker, take for instance, look at the bill that the deputy speaker sponsored. Somebody of such a height sponsoring a bill to attract reconciliation, unity, and the rest of them within the Southeast, which is the bill that gave right to Southeast Development Commission. And the Speaker of the House, who is supposed to either sponsor a similar bill or even sponsor a better bill that is pro-people, you are coming to sponsor a bill that will make the citizens not have right to question you. So why is it that you come back to us during electionary period to make promises to us? I am a politician. I ran a contested election. And if I'm able to come out according to my manifesto and say to my people that these are the things I wanted to do, like for instance, I continue to say in different fora, I had a plan that I'm supposed to sponsor a bill whereby if you're an executive arm and certain entitlements, including your fact allocation, including your derivation and the rest of them, comes to you as an executive governor, and you owe a cent, you owe a kobo to the civil servant or any project that you embark upon, you ought to be tried. But in Nigeria, we don't have a bill in that nature. You understand me? And we see a lot of things that continue to happen. Those who we are supposed to hold so high, our parliamentarians, because the parliament I continue to advocate remain the bedrock of a democratic society. And these are our parliamentarians, instead of them to do what they're supposed to do, I can tell you that the reason why this bill came and the timing as well was as a result of the reaction of the people during the end by governance protest. Because now you see that the people saw that they were left to their fate to survive. You promised, you came on board. And remember that Mr. President, if you remember, on June 12, in his statement, when he was eulogizing our democracy, he said that democracy is not just only the right to cast votes or to be elected. Rather, it becomes a way of life, whereby even the masses, the media, and other persons, get involved in promoting the democracy. But today, because of the people who have tried to resist some of the things that has been happening, we are not here to criticize the federal government. Now, all of a sudden, the Speaker of the House, believe me, is a desecration of such a hallowed office. And I must say that, Mr. Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, you have really, really disappointed most of us who are intending parliamentarians and politicians in this same field. So I must say that he should not just only withdraw that bill, but make a public apology to Nigerians because of that particular bill.
He said in response that he is a man that listens to the voices of people, and that Nigerians have been speaking, Nigerians are not happy, and therefore in response to show his humility and being a good sportsman, So he didn't tender an apology. Rather, he said he is a man that listens to the people. And for him to withdraw the bill, actually, he listened.
Choma, Larissa, let me tell you, when apologies are given without remorse, it's manipulation. In the words of, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Him withdrawing the bill. Remember that Tajuddin Abbas is not just, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas is not just a member of the National Assembly. Rather, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas is the Honorable Speaker of the 10th Assembly of the National Assembly. And now it's so painful that he comes out to tell us that the reason why he withdrew it is because of the reaction from the people. Come to think of it, I don't want to, because I'm trying to be very careful with my choice of words so that I don't throw certain tantrums or muslung him, But the truth remains that why would somebody of his person, somebody occupying the seat that he's occupying, look at the citizens, especially his own constituents, and come to sponsor a bill that would deny the right of citizens of asking for accountability by people? That then where does it not keep us when you say somebody who might have one belief, some religious belief, whereby you and I might come from the same faith, different faith as Christians, then publicly I'm not meant to sing or pray loud, and all of a sudden, because you have to respect my right and my belief, then you now say I come out public on a public function and the national anthem is being played and I keep mute, I don't want to sing, then you compel me. And you say because I didn't want to sing, therefore I've been charged. For crying out loud, where is the right to freedom of expression? That is the reason why, just like my legal counsel here said, this same bill is an anti-people because it is against Section 22, against the media. It's also against Section 35, Section 39, Section 40. These are the responsibilities of the citizen. Their right to fair hearing, their right and freedom for expression, their right of belief and expression as well.
Right. All right, Honorable Lan. Well, Barrister, what is your final take in conclusion? What is your concluding statement as we round up the show?
My statement, or my concluding statement for today is that let politicians know that the meaning of politics or politician is a problem solver. But in Nigeria here today, politicians are problem creators. You understand? They always do a lot of things to exacerbate our pains. We elected you not because of the fact that you are too beautiful or you are the most intelligent, but because you have chosen yourself to say, I can solve this problem of water, electricity as a politician. That is why we say, come on, try it. You are not better than those of us who are outside, of your political whatever as case may be. Be you governor, be you president, be you House of Assembly, be you NAS. You are not better than the rest of the. It's not that you are the most brilliant, no. But you came out to say, this problem we have been having for decades, I can do it. That's why the word politician, people don't even know the meaning of politician. When they say, I'm a politician, what do you know as a politician? As a politician, you don't want me to keep talking and making promises that you cannot fulfill. No. A politician is a problem solver. That is the essence. So if you can't solve problem, go and sit down. That is why you find that all over the world, when a politician comes into power and is unable to solve that problem of the people, they remove him and bring another one that will solve the problem. That is the reason why they call people politicians. Some of them think that maybe it's an appellation now, that I'm politician, whatever. You are even giving yourself a big burden. As a politician, if you say, I'll say, okay, go and do this thing for me. Then if you don't do it, you fail. Right. That is why we criticize you when you get there and you can't do anything. Because you said you're a politician, you can solve this problem for us.
All right.
So please, let us know the essence of it and let Nigeria be a better and peaceful place for all of us to live in.
All right, Honorable Lan, 30 seconds.
Okay, I'll submit my remark with Nigeria is a state where we practice democracy, and this democracy is so precious to us. And as a politician that I am, not just a politician of stomach infrastructure, but a politician of ideology and positive thinking, that other politicians, especially those within the public offices today, my fellow parliamentarians, and as well as those who are also occupying the executive positions, to try as much as possible to be dedicated and committed in advocating and defending the democracy we have, because it is so precious.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.